Hey, and Happy New Year, aNvKids. It's been a long time. We shouldn't have left you without a psychic reading the steps you. Yeah. Okay. Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome to our show. This is our fourth annual tarot forecast for the year of 2023. I'm Nick Sykes, your co-host and producer extraordinaire, and I'm here with
Jack Fuller. What it do?
So happy New Year to all y'all. 2022 has been a journey, a struggle, a tempest. Um, we've done a lot of moving around. Trying to find stable housing has been difficult for us, but you know, we're here for ourselves. We're here for each other. We're here for y'all as much as we can be. So we do this every year. So why not do it this year? Before we get into the reading, any couple words about 2022? Oh,
Um, happened just like we said it would, So
really?
yeah, and we did our best to prepare as we said we should, and it hit everybody. And I know many people who thought they were prepared for years. You know what I'm saying, for shit like that, where didn't fucking matter. Our elders are facing eviction and are in housing insecurity right now. Elders that we all really thought were secure. You know what I'm saying? Like whose work should have made them secure. More than anything. More than I'm here to admonish the boomers for not having it together as much as they tried to act like they would have it together and that we should have it together based on their blueprint.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? Yes, that's the truth. So it had to be said. But nonetheless, like based on what y'all blueprint was, you should have it together. It should be together. And it's not. And it's not your fault. And it's only the fault of the system because it's designed to make sure that people don't have it together. So end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna have to eat us poking fun at y'all for a hot second because y'all tried it. Y'all went mad ham in our youth. Y'all went mad ham to our youth. Some of us have kids that y'all be trying to act like they don't know what they doing because they online and doing whatever it is that they trying to do, getting their influencer
Not
shit
the case.
and on. But they're the ones that's gonna make the money. They're the ones that's gonna have it together. As you know what I'm saying? Well, at least they're the ones that are closer to having it as close together as y'all have it than even us. Okay. Right. So whereas we were in a situation where we're trying to essentially we're in the transitional stage where the old model kind of still made sense as we were becoming adults, but was at the same time becoming obsolete. And we had to fucking really quickly get some new shit under our belt. The kids are in front of it. So shut the fuck up about the youth and look at yourselves right now and recognize that, like, just like everybody else, you don't have your shit together. Your kids can't come to your house because you won't have one, kind of shit. Your kids need to come home and they can't come home because you won't have one, kind of shit. So yeah, this is hitting everybody.
Right. It is. It really, really is. And so we're gonna do our yearly spread. We do a card for each month, and we get into the situation of the year or like the theme of the year and sort of the message. We updated a little this year. We're gonna do this electronically because it's always a hassle trying to figure out how to show them the cards and like setting up camera angles, and it gets crazy. And I'm just like, I just do it on my phone and like screen record it. I've been reading tarot for years. I've seen me use actual paper cards. I know what the fuck I'm doing. Like I'm not faking the funk. You funk. Without faking. So it just make it a little easier on us to like show you out there in internet land what we're reading like in the card and try to because that spread also takes up a lot of space.
Mm.
So it's always just like, how do we sit? I'm like, I wasn't doing it. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do right on the phone this year. Okay. So before we start, we're gonna draw a card for the theme of the year and then get into the spread for the rest of the year and all that good stuff. So theme for 2023. Okay, and it's the Six of Swords. Um, okay, well, the Six of Swords talks about change, but the direction is unknown. Um, it really speaks about like going on a journey into like unsure waters, and what you find at the end of that journey really may be like a your greatest desires or your downfall depending on the trip and like what like the waters are like given. And so I guess like that's actually very good. Um Considering we're gonna see. So we'll see where this ends up. But I feel like the Six of Swords is like a good sort of like clean slate almost kind of card.
Okay. I don't know. The Six of Swords always reminds me of the River Styx. Especially when they have like the river motif and the guy on the pergola and things of that nature. Because that's a popular motif for that card and that number. Um, so yeah, I guess depending on how you take a trip to the underworld, we're in front of the halls of Amenti, purple
Right.
flames. If you know, you know. Um, but nonetheless, if you're familiar with trips to the underworld, if you know what it's like, if you're comfortable, if you're okay with trips to the underworld, then everything Pat said about it being great is possible. If you're all shook and shit, then
If you're ready to go
like
to
it'll
the dark
be
side,
a rocky road.
like literally though, like swords are like a mental suit. It's also like a departure from like confusion and craziness, and you making an active choice. Some like pull yourself out of like the psychological warfare and the bullshit. When like the Six of Swords is happening, like you're making a choice. You're getting on that boat. I don't know where the fuck is going, but I'm getting away from this crazy. Which, hallelujah. I hope that's really what's on most people's minds. But so that's the theme for 2023. Um, yes. All right, now let's get in. And I'm gonna be a little bit more focused. It's kind of like a take two. Let's shuffle the cards. You start. No? 2022. So let's get into the first month. Let's get into January. See what January is looking like. January is the Four of Cups. We're talking about choices, choices. You don't have to, like we said. So the theme of the year being the Six of Swords, making a decision to make a departure, and that it's an emotional decision. Like some of these cups are full, some of these cups are like overflowing, some of the cups are empty. Which cup are you gonna take? What like which juice are you drinking? Are you not drinking the juice? January, I feel like honestly, with all the bullshit everyone's been doing in 2023, if you didn't come into January ready to make some fucking decisions and map out where your life is moving, you need to. And I know that sounds generic and cliche, but it's there. It's there for us all. So like you doing that on a personal level and on an emotion, most of all, an emotional level, because cups is an emotional suit. Um, think about that.
Yeah, and you gotta be connected. There's a cloud passing Homie a cup under the tree. Um, you got to be connected. It's like, where are you choosing your cups at? Are you going to choose worldly cups, or are you going to choose like spiritual cups? Are you focused on what it is that your ancestors and your deities and etc. have for you? Are you willing to let go of things that are clearly not for you, or seem to be not for you, and just leave them cups right where they lay? Are you looking for a way to take all four of them cups? Can you hold all four of them cups? Most people can hold three cups at a time, right? So even if you are going to take most of the things that you have there, something's got to stay. And yeah.
Um, Also be like get some alone time to do it. When I think about like the Six of Cups and so or like the choices that you're being presented with right now or like trying to discover, um, that really like if you gotta go alone to the woods, like what's in the Rider Waite edition, this is guy sitting on a tree, like he's like, looks like he's meditating, there's a cloud on the cup. In some decks in like my Spiral Tarot deck, it's like a woman and she's just like in like the void with like four cups around her and like one's like right in front of her face. So there's a lot of different like sort of depictions of that, but like separation is important. Maybe a little withdrawal. Sometimes withdrawal is good. Um, in January. Um, but yeah, I don't know what else to like. I don't think I need to expand anymore. And things can be pretty long. Let's just make sure. This is February. The chariot, chariot. I was about to do Beyonce's run from
Mm-hmm.
Fire and Temptation, but I couldn't remember what it was. I was like,
Sweet, sweet, sweet chariot, chariot.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
The chariot for February. So major arcana. Is it a good sign? You got to be focused and vigilant. The chariot plays no game. I'm just was trying to like get like a good look at the symbology. Um, of like rigid focus. This is the part where you need to like you made plans in January. Now it's time to actually get into action, get the determination, get like boots on the ground with the chariot. And also embracing the duality and like going forward with something you promised yourself. Like sometimes you're gonna have to be nasty. Sometimes it's gonna have to get a little dark. And sometimes you're gonna have to come into spaces with love and light, but you gotta really be focused and pay attention to when, because that's really gonna be really, really important. Like it can't just be all one way going forward 2023. February is a month to really like kick that off.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts, emotions, feelings. I will
Yeah, pretty
say
much same.
it's a little bit more, it does take a little bit more focus for me personally to like pull the Ashe from a digital card. It's there. But like I was like, okay, I gotta a little more than like my paper cards. I don't know where they are, y'all. Just to be honest. And I wasn't about to buy new ones
Mm-hmm.
either. So
Yeah,
but
I
February
concur.
check.
I don't pretty much have anything to add to that. It's
Uh
just take control at all costs,
mm,
not
mm.
just be like, oh, okay, I'm gathering. No, it's like take control and of all costs. And just like in the first thing, it's like, are you getting rid of certain things? February, you should see very clearly what it is that is not allowing you control of your life, and that's gotta go. And it's just that simple.
Self discipline. Name of the game. Um I was like, what's the third month? It's March. March is the magician. I wish I knew the name of the deck. I'm
Apropos.
gonna find it and show y'all. The picture that you're gonna be seeing here of the magician is gonna be from one of my favorite decks. But
I think that's the Golden Dawn deck.
yeah, this isn't the picture I'm talking about.
Oh.
It's from I don't remember the name of the deck. I'm gonna put the name of the deck in the thing. Somebody on DeviantArt did it a while ago, and I wanted to buy it, but it was like $200.
Mm.
But I saw that and I was like, "Ooh, I love this depiction." But month of March, the magician speaks of transformation, imagination. Excuse me. Controversially, elimination. It's gonna be time to change some things and kick some niggas out. So some out of your life.
It's just it's been literally that's been the prompt for the whole end of the year. I mean, at least for me, it's been so many people leaving my life and so many people like showing me who they are, and it's on the third. And it just seems like it's going to be more of that. It's like, oh, okay, well, if you didn't do it this year already, you better do it. And by March, it's like it's got to be the overhaul. This is time for a spring cleaning. Like people gotta go. Folks gotta go.
You gotta gather your resources to your altar, and everything's not gonna fit, unfortunately. Like the things that are like it's literally the time to build your altar. Like if not physically manifest, like you have to like get your table.
This is all very much talking about people.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is about you finding your tribe. This is about literally letting go of people you might have thought like you would have spent like every week. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta. If this is about getting rid of folk.
Mm. And that's
All 3
really
months.
gonna start transforming the energy in your life for the world. I also feel like this is gonna be the month where um leaders, actual leaders, not rappers that are pretending to be revolutionary for their own ends and trying to speak for, or like political commentators trying to speak for communities. Actual leaders that have power to make decisions. The expose and the flip flopping, it will shock you. It's going to shock you. Don't say we didn't tell you. I can't. The magician. It's gonna be about money because pentacles are also represented in this card. Cups. It's gonna get your most, but like the some fuckery is gonna go down with politicians and like the way money is gonna start to work moving forward in March. And that shit is gonna like flip up. I feel that shit.
And don't be
Um,
shocked if it becomes more clear how much actual magic is involved in all of this shit.
and how money is like fake, and it's gonna like the fakeness of money will probably be very apparent in March. Um, but yeah, let's move on. Oh damn. Okay, these cards it's already given me it's a rough year. So, April is the Emperor. What the hell?
That could be good,
Huh?
especially that could be good, especially in April. The Magician could be really good too, like in March. There's a lot of that's in the second half of Pisces going into Aries. There's a lot of potentiality within that zodiac passing. So at the end of the day, like if the shit is aligned, as long as you're aligned, then there's things that can be done. I don't know what the planets are finna do at that time, but depending on what the planets are doing, be on top of it and really work it, it'll probably be like even more potent in that moment.
Mm.
As it pertains to April and the Emperor, that could be great. It's time to step into your authority. Again, there's a difference between having control and having authority. This is about like I guess really this reading doesn't feel all encompassing of everyone in the world. Mostly, at least like what I'm getting doesn't include everybody. This is about the people who have actual leadership within them. This is about the boss bitches. This is about the bad bitches. This is about the boss ass niggas. This is about the people who have not stepped into their bosshood that need to. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's something that the world needs. I mean, at this point, who gives a fuck? But at the end of the day, like, this is saying that you've been a boss for however long and you act like you're not a boss and fucking be a boss by April. You need to know your authority, and if April is either time the begin like literally April 1st is either you better be in authority or April is going to teach you how to be authoritative.
Mm.
And Lord have mercy, who knows what the fuck those tests are like? I don't want to know. I'm trying to be together beforehand.
I agree with everything you said. I also feel like stepping into your power is a big resonated a lot with me for what you said for April, and it's also shown a lot in the Emperor card, Major Arcana. That's going to relate a lot to like our relationships with our fathers and fathers out of the world stepping up for your children and being fathers. That's every father. Like even if you're a grandfather, like really like have you been stepping to have you thought about what that means for your family and what that looks like and the effect that it's causing on like all these legacies that everybody wants to build and talk about legacy. And like I had 13 other grandchildren, none of them are legacy. And like what okay, so how are you showing up in your life? How are you leaving a legacy? And like April, like I guarantee you, your father, uncle, stepfather that hasn't spoken to you is probably gonna give you a call out the blue in April. You're gonna have a weird conversation, or they're gonna like, a lot of fathers are gonna be reaching out, hopefully, to like shift things in their families because it's gonna be necessary, especially with this money fuckery that's probably gonna happen in March. And I hope, you know, um, it's something that like I would love to see that person. But it's really necessary. Um, March, April, May. Um, Seven of Swords. Um, don't think, don't like. Okay, the Seven of Swords is about like false victory and feeling you won when you maybe haven't done all the things that you need to do to like secure the bag. Like the bag is not locked. The bag is within your grips, but maybe you haven't like gotten to it or really just sealed the deal in the room enough to claim it. Be leery of that energy in February, especially because of all the work and like maybe some of like emotional turmoil for everybody getting like cleared up in April. It may like don't fall into like a false sense of security. Um I don't know which image I'm gonna use, so I'm not gonna give like the symbology yet because I don't know which seven of swords I picked. Um
Okay.
but
I mean, I would go with the deck that we use. That's
yeah.
why I was like, this is that deck because I would just go to the deck that we're using. So that's what we gotta use.
With the right of way, it's a guy carrying a bunch of swords and run like trying to like run away with them.
Right. It's the thing says that you gotta just do what you gotta do, and again, like that's to me again. This is the theme of the year. I like right like I'm in this like very what I'm saying like laissez faire nonchalant like mood or whatever have you like the theme of the theme for the most part seems to be like fuck people's feelings. Who cares? Who cares? No one's cared all this time, and what we're supposed to do like care now? No. This is the reading for the boss ass people who might have been called bossy or whatever have you and have worked their lives to be opposite that and to not like have to deal with that and try their best to, what I'm saying, present and be, what I'm saying, what everyone else considers humble. And what I'm saying, show people these things that do indeed inhabit you and you indeed are, but show them it or give it to them in the flavor that they prefer, and it's no longer necessary. I've been saying heads on spikes forever. It's heads on spikes time. And if it's somebody's mother's head on a spike and they get upset, they can be upset. And if they want to come through, they can come through and have their head right next to their mom.
Well, tell them how you really feel.
That's what this is giving. It's like, again, we continually speak about how the taxes do X, Y, and Z. I've been trying my best not to care, and it looks as though that is the wave. There's no way that I can care and be the only one, you know what I'm saying, or one of the few giving a fuck about how taxes are doing X, Y, and Z. But that's exactly what this card represents. No matter what, literally, no matter what, this is what I'm doing. So I might as well lean into it. You might as well lean into it because as you go to work to pay your rent and your light bills and etc., as you file your taxes, gotta file taxes, it's tax season, gotta remember to do that. As you do all of that stuff, you don't care. You're not cashing your check thinking, okay, wow, that cost 2,573 lives just to cash. So why think about it now? Why think about the person right next to you? This card is saying if you got to lie, cheat, and steal, then do it. If you don't, then don't. And I don't know who I'm advising. Again, these are for the people who don't do it. For the most part, like the rest of the world is doing it. So for the folks that don't do it, stop martyring yourself. Do it. Step on necks. Trip a bitch if you're the understudy and get the role. Tanya Harding a hoe.
I really hate how you said Tanya Harding. Now, don't do that. We don't condone that.
The spirits are condoning it. It's not us.
And stuff. No, I'm kidding. So we're in May. No, June. We're in June.
Mm-hmm.
We see justice for June. Justice comes in many forms. Justice as a card really speaks about getting making things right and actually like doing the work to get the balance that you seek in your life.
Excuse me.
June is a great month to make amends. A lot of different things like sort of like happen in June. We have like Pride, we have Juneteenth. So there's always like a lot of like justice and social justice energy in like the month of June. That's gonna be like definitely need to be used. I also feel like justice like justice can also represent like a lot of questions being asked of why math ain't mathing and why like certain things aren't adding up and excuse me, like a little like shift in like social climate. I blanked out for a second with the words like shift in social climate. And I think we're really gonna see that in June. Um and thinking about that, I was just thinking about like the actual environment. I haven't seen anything about like the land yet, which is interesting. So I'm wondering if that's gonna come up for like later in the year. Because I'm just like, yeah, none of these most of these have been major arcana cards, so these aren't like these are like situational things, like big picture things instead of like specific things. I was like, oh, this is not. It's very different from like 2022. the reading that we gave. Make sure y'all check out the actual reading, and we did like a mid-year like review, which are both on YouTube. So make sure you check that out on like the New Country YouTube. But that's big. But that's like that's giving me big like big shift energy.
Mm. I'm seeing people feeling a way about the people in the prior month doing quote unquote shady things to get things, you know what I'm saying, that they need. People coming through with the, oh, I thought you were better than that. And you having to be like, well, I thought, you know what I'm saying, like, well, I've been better than that while you weren't better than that the whole time. So what do you mean? And people want to, and to me, justice, and this is a prayer, may justice be that the people that have finally shifted to the way of the world, that have not been doing the way of the world, get more than the people that have been taking advantage of them the whole time.
Hallelujah.
That justice be us latent boss bitches who essentially only trying to let people have their life because people were trying to make it seem like we weren't, right? Let all the latent boss bitches coin triple.
Make it rain on the scale.
And have people like, what the fuck is going on? And I don't mean to, like, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to be like bad, you know what I'm saying, this is, you know, good cop, bad cop thing right now, whatever have you, but I'm just like, there's so much that I'm over, you know? And when it comes to this reading, it seems like that's apropos. Like we like, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. So it's really just like, get yours or die in obscurity.
You wanna?
And justice to me means that like you'll get yours. So do it. Please do the work to get yours. Going next.
Mm-hmm.
It's July. It's
Four of Wands.
4 of Wands. Okay.
I'm gonna tell you broken promises. Looking at your pages, singing different numbers and numbers. That's what I hear when I think about the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands is really like a lot of passion, a lot of promises, but like where's the follow through? You can see the house with the picket fence, like you want to be in it, you want to live in it, you can imagine the furniture. How are you going to get it? And so it can't just be all like dreams. The Four of Wands talks about taking action to make actually like your dreams come true. I was also wondering when the weather card, like it's July, so of course it's gonna be hot. This shit is not gonna be normal. This is like um fucking with our food hot, like everywhere. Like hot. And I was waiting for it. I was like, it's odd. So it's gonna be like I guess the winter is gonna be relatively tame in terms of weather. And it has been like we had a couple like randomly cold days in November, but it's been unseasonably warm, and it's projected to be such while like everywhere else in the country, at least in New York and like the like New York metro area, is like raging like blizzards and shit. Um, but July heat wave everywhere where it shouldn't be. They're probably going to be having heat waves in fucking Michigan.
For me, the Four of Wands has always been about showcasing, and it's like you've done all this work, and now it's time to like put it out. It's time to let people marvel at what you've done, and it's the expressive form of the power of fire and magical ability. So it's like just You should have something to show.
Right. What is
by
your home
July.
environment looking like? What is like we're like it's really like the inside, like the inside of your house, the inside of your sanctuary can mean many things. What does it look like? What do you show? What is your sanctuary showing the world? Is it dusty? Do people want to change the sheets when they come in? And that's like really talking about sort of like that can be like your physical house, but also just like your energy. Are you a little dusty? Could be. And that you need to shift what you're showing. And if you don't take passion on what you're showing, it's time to redecorate, bitch.
By now, there's no shifting. The shifting is done.
Mm-hmm.
Every card can't be about shifting. This is not about shifting. This is about if you got it to show, this is time to show. And if you don't, then it's over for you. Who knows what the rest of the cards are going to give? But to me, if that's happening in July, you're done. If you don't got it, if you didn't make that deadline, show, prove, and celebrate. It's time to make sure people can get to you for what it is that you have to offer. If you don't have nothing to offer, then again, obscurity.
At this point, you want to take a little second to spark up before we move like a little bit past the middle of the year. We're in July. We're about to go into um the rest of the summer. Smoke break. I mean, we can smoke and talk. Just like take a second to do it. What I'm really trying to do is give the people hope because, like, yes, it looks dire right now. Stop. Wait, let me say.
To
what
me,
I
this doesn't look dire.
Huh?
To me, this doesn't look dire. To me, this is very
No,
powerful.
I'm not talking about this month in general. I'm talking about the reading in general. I'm
talking about I don't think the reading looks dire either.
You've given a lot of like, well, it's a like. There's been a lot of like, it's gonna be a wrap for you. It's over for you. Like, and I don't feel like
if you don't have certain shit together, yeah. These cards are humongous. These cards are huge cards. This is saying something big. This is Siddhartha. You know what I'm saying? Like these cards are huge.
Talk about
cards.
the 6 of Cups.
Four. Yeah, 4 of Cups.
4 of Cups. Sorry.
These are huge cards, and these cards are saying very very particular things, and beyond some of the cards being shifty in that, like, okay, first one is about shifting, second one is more about like, so you want to figure out what the fuck you have. Okay, great. Now you get control of what you have and do the shit with what it is that you have. Then the next one is like you understand that you're limitless potential. This is March now. You're limitless potential. Then the next one is like, and in working that limitless potential, you know that you're that bitch. If you're that bitch, then everything is due you, even if somebody has to be lied to in order to get it. And if you see that you got to lie to somebody, don't be that bitch that's sitting there like, oh my God, and going through an existential crisis, talking about, oh, I gotta lie, I don't want to lie. No, lie if you have to lie. Don't lie if you realize that you can tell the truth. And at the end of the day, both moments will be honest to what it is that you need. It'll be honest to your need and how you need to gather resources as that bitch. And then the next one is, I
didn't even get the shit. I didn't even get to say what I was going to say.
I'm just saying. It's
and you just start rattling off assuming, and I didn't even get to say because it wasn't about that. But I agree with everything you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with any of that. I'm also just saying that because these cards are so big, a lot of these provide space and opportunity. That's why I was saying the word like shift a lot. Because it does, like, major arcana cards do like get like are part of like the journey of the fool. So like now, like, you're not in your it's not so much about like feelings, it's about where you're at and what is the structure of things in like relation to like whatever card we're talking about in relation to justice or like leadership and things like that.
That's why it depends on whether or not these cards are saying that through the month you'll be moving through these energies, or you better have them, right? This Emperor to me is a better have. I'm getting this, like, if you don't move through April with that authority, then it ain't gonna be right for you to even be able to be sneaky and conniving and do whatever that you gotta do, kill who you gotta kill, etc. Love who you gotta love, fuck who you gotta fuck, honey pot who you gotta honey pot, whatever, to get what you need. Okay, all of this talk of, oh, like I didn't sleep to the top, bitch. Pussy pop that puss
Pop
right
it,
the
pop
fuck now.
it.
Get over yourself. Do
Oh
what you
baby.
need to do.
August. For August, the Six of Wands. Um, embracing victory.
It's another show of power.
Embracing, like, yo, you know what? You put, like, so far, like, considering, like, everything leading up to the, like, hopefully you've put in the work up until this point, and I hope I'll say it so you can be like, the fruits of success.
A solidification of status.
We all feel it.
The agreeance that you're that bitch amongst the community. The acquiescence to your being that bitch. That's what, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry. All of it, like, there's fear does what it does. Ruling by fear is not cool or whatever have you. But at the end of the day, some people are just going to have to acquiesce to the fact that you have that authority and acquiesce to the fact that you are that bitch. And it's okay. The people that agree will agree, and you can focus your energies on them. But there's going to be people in the crowd as you parade that are like, ugh, that bitch. But nonetheless, they in the crowd, they still came.
And also, make sure you take time to celebrate. Like, August is a month, and the space and the energy is there. Sort of psychically, make sure you pop some fucking bottles, because the year is gonna be, you gonna be thugging it. You gonna be thugging it. So make sure, like, into the summer, you get your little, like, sip in, like, you go on a trip, you go, like, you have a little party or do something fun for yourself. Like, make sure that happens by August, because what's coming down the pipe, if you don't do a thing, you're gonna wish you had.
To me, that's July.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's July.
This part, the six of wands talks about, like, celebrating victories. So, like, more of that, have fun, more of driving home of the, like, make sure you have fun this summer, bitch. For everybody, make sure you have fun this summer, because this might be the last time for a while, and we'll see why. For September. I knew it, and I hate being a bitch. The other shoe is gonna drop ass bitch. I'm a Libra, and I can't help it. But it's a lot of fucking wands. A lot of fucking wands. It's the my moving numbers off. Wait, 5, 6, 7, 7 wands. Yep, 7 wands.
This is about, like, this is a magical year. You got to use your magic. You got to believe in your magic. You got to work your magic. It's back to training, meditating, getting back in the halls of a mentee, going through the fire, toiling, tilling your magical soil, doing your ebos.
Because the forces against us and you in your own personal life, and in us in the world, um are gonna come guns a blazing in September, and this shit is gonna hit. So, like we said, make sure you have fun this summer, because something's coming for all of us, like, on an individual, personal level in the month of September. And I know it's like, oh, the whole world, this one like astrology. Yes, but also, bitch, I feel like on a socio-political level, like, all the shit we're seeing with social media and AI, a lot of shit is about to bust wide open. Like that episode of South Park where everybody's social media history got revealed, and, like, people were, like, nervous because everything you've done on the internet, like, people can go. So I feel like it's gonna be some shit like akin to that, like in the wind, and even more so. Um, but because it's a wand, I feel like it's something that's gonna be something that people are very like talkative and like fiery about. So I don't necessarily think it's like politics. Because politics a lot of times shows up as like swords and like or like you have a mix of cups and swords.
It's gonna be magical.
Mm,
It's gonna be spiritual attack.
mm. I can feel that too.
Wands speak of magical force and spiritual power. And you gotta again to me this card speaks of training for the thing that's probably coming in October. Um again, doing your eboses, doing your obras, doing your doing Olympiads, getting your head washes and your yoni steams and all of them things so that you can, like having your fucking like shit together. We should be having it all done by, throughout the year. But I feel like the cards and the spirits are also saying like I understand if
Follow
you
the house
dropped
down boots.
they're like if you drop some of that stuff, during the year to focus on the stuff that's more physical, they understand. September, be at your altar a lot.
And we talked about getting your altar ready, so you should have gotten that back. Well, when was the medition? The medition was in March, I believe.
Yeah.
Um, if I'm wrong, I'll fix that in the
No,
thing.
it was March.
So you should have really got your altar should have been ready in March.
Right. That's when you should have been just playing around. If you wanted to, try your random petitions to spirits or whatever, March is the time. By September and through September, those relationships and things should be solid. You should know who you're actually speaking to.
So now we in October. Six of Pentacles. I never like to see the Six of Pentacles because the Six of Pentacles brings up a lot of emotions to me because like we've been living the Six of Pentacles for a while and like it talks about giving and receiving and like knowing like what you're worth, knowing like what you're worth receiving so you don't find yourself like out in the cold and like lost out in like worth lost out in the world and not like sort of like accepting like the crumbs because there's a balance to all this shit. The scales are in hand, but you also got to know that you don't necessarily got to be down on your knees. Um, and I feel like situations that transpired in September will definitely try to put you on your knees. Don't go there. It's also because we are talking about like a worldwide like tarot forecast. They're gonna be fucking with all our money, and like we said earlier in the year, the fakeness of money is going to like make itself apparent, like right
that
before
it's
the sun.
not is like that it's not already is really weird.
In October, that will be solidified.
November. Oh wait, no. Sorry.
Oh, you don't have any thoughts on Six Cups?
No. November, the Queen of Pentacles.
Oh Lord Jesus! But Queen of Pentacles is a good sign.
It's good.
Very good. That's
it's just like if at this point we don't get that we need each other, then like what I'm saying, we're fucked. So it's essentially saying like by then hopefully we will again. Like sometimes tarot is saying what will happen, and sometimes it's like what y'all need to be on. So it's like if we're on understanding our worth and beyond understanding our worth, giving, what things are worth to each other and being there for each other and charitable with and to and for each other, then by the time November comes, we should be in a place of relative abundance that is predicated on nurturing or like nurture spending specifically.
I like that. Nurture spending. So it's not budgeting, you're nurturing. You're nurturing your seed, the seed of your money. I like that.
And paying into things that are nurture based. You know, like it's you. It's about a cyclical abundance that comes from everybody nurturing each other's needs, and it's like, and it might not even take finances. It just it like, you know, as much as Pentacles is indeed about money, money is about exchange. So if we're finding out that money is fake, then maybe by time, at least what I'm seeing as possible is by the time we get to November, we find some other way of being more fiscally responsible by having other means of exchange than money that are more nurture based.
Hallelujah. Hi, Bruno. And the dog saith itself. Um, November?
Yeah.
Yeah. I pray to you got the best of me. But I just let me stop because we after what 2 bars you gotta pay. Um then these AIs and algorithms. The 3 of hearts, the 3 of swords. Um it's really about you should you should have known better. Um and also earlier in the year when we talked about false victories and false senses of security, um if you did neglect to follow like the lessons of the Queen of Pentacles in November, um, December is going to be a very like hard month for you, especially like sort of like mentally. Um, um, it talks about betrayal and sort of like you talked about feeding things that are nurturing and like nurturing you and like if you neglected to do that, um, yeah, December is gonna be a real like a raw deal. Um, on a global level, I think we're gonna get the winter we missed out on this year, like especially in December. It's just like the northern hemisphere. It's gonna be worse.
I don't know, missed out on 2 days. Lord have mercy. That's all I needed.
Well,
That's the whole season of winter in 2 days. That shit was too much. Three much.
what if what are you feeling about this three of swords?
It's not good.
The imagery of the 3 of swords, like ugh.
Yeah, always. It's not good. It's not good. Um, like even if you did, it seems like, you know what I'm saying, people are gonna be ain't shit because people, you know, are habitual and they, you know, you're still gonna need to do those things. So don't neglect to do the things and, you know, find all of those loving partners and, you know, tribes and people that you can, you know, be reciprocal with. Um, but some of those people are gonna turn out to be ain't shit. And I guess the advice would be to do your best to leave as many nest eggs in different ways, emotional, mental, you know, physical and spiritual, financial, you know what I'm saying, ways as possible. Because, you know, there's an infidel among you and
They out here backstabbing.
they're gonna fuck up the church's money.
They out here backstabbing.
And you gotta get, you know what I'm saying, who knows if it's something that anybody could stop. Again, like we prepared as much as we could, you know, and it didn't for this year, and it didn't seem like we could stop anything. So end of the day, and I know people again that prepared even harder than us and still can stop shit. But end of the day, you can find that infidel, or if you can at least be prepared for what that infidel finna do. Um,
What about on a worldwide level? What are you feeling? things for like the political climate, social climate,
Um,
mental world, mental state, global world health, mental health.
yeah, it's gonna be a shit show. Um, it's gonna be a lot of self unaliving. It's gonna be a lot of more, I'll say. Um, breaking points are breaking harder. You know, they've been breaking crazy now. Um, you know, people have been flipping out, and a lot of the times, rightfully so. But you know, in the wrong context or wrong person, or you know what I'm saying, like you know, you're shooting a messenger kind of shit. You know, but more of that because people want to be really finished, and I just hope. Again, this is why certain things piss me off about certain messagings and certain movies. I just hope that y'all aim it at the people that are causing the distress, not the discomfort. The people right next to you are as uncomfortable as you. We are all, you know what I'm saying, like dealing with the same shit. So like at the end of the day, put put the fire to the people and the things that are actually causing the distress. And
Don't
this
Wakanda
fucking
Forever,
systems, please.
Avatar 2. Avatar 2.
At Black Adam.
If you manage to stay awake to the end.
A movie that has yet to be created because nobody's really done it. Kill your enemy, not the person who's also dealing with your enemy. And even if the person next to you is not doing well, like at the end of the day, it is not doing you well, then the enemy of your enemy is your friend when it's time to fight something. You can let, again, all the people that you let go, you let them go. All the people that you let go in the beginning of the year, you let them go. But when it comes down to actually putting hands, screaming, juju, whatever on somebody, it's got to be the people at the top of the fucking pyramid. It can't be the person that you let go. Y'all gotta all even still come together in going ham against y'all mutual enemy. And then if y'all really got beef, y'all can handle it after the big fish is done.
Because really, they're gonna be out here. They're gonna be out here for everybody, and that's like you can talk about like world leaders. You can talk about your homie down the street. Um, the Three of Swords talks about preparing for sacrifice, and like we've all, as like a world, sacrificed so much in the past 2 years. I can't imagine what more we should be prepared to give up. But it's not gonna be something like that's really not gonna fucking like hurt us damningly. So right. Don't say we didn't tell you. You heard it here first. And finally, we got the outcome of the year. Started with swords. We're gonna end with swords, and it's the two of swords. That's just like what the positioning is, or like yeah, on the two of swords, and I like it's a duality of like the warrior and like the sage. Like you don't want to be like a gardener on a battlefield. You'd rather be like a warrior and a gardener, right? That's how it goes.
Yeah.
For real. And like that's like if you're not that by the end of this year, if you haven't figured out how to become the warrior in the garden,
to me it's
ready to dole out justice.
Yeah. To be that card still seems more thematic than outcomey. Like it still feels more like because it's all about like even like for the most part this whole year has been about making decisions. Mm-hmm. And you know the shit is hard and the things are difficult. You know what I'm saying? This positioning is only only inches, even, yeah, centimeters away from being a very self-sacrificial position. In fact, it's not even, yeah, like centimeters away from being a hottie kitty, but not traditionally. Just, you know what I'm saying, a self unaliving position. The arms have to come down just a little bit, and then all they got to do is bend the wrist that way, and it's a wrap very quickly. So not
But
making these
you also
decisions. Mhm.
heal from both sides.
Absolutely. So not making these decisions is gone. It is a self-sacrificial um thing. So you got to just make the decision and go from there. It's hard, and sometimes the decision is wrong, and sometimes you end up missing the thing that you, or maybe you do end up missing the thing that you wanted or thought you should have, but there's something else. There's something else. You can't focus on your loss. If you focus too much on your loss, then it'll be crazy. So you deal with the loss in December and make a decision. Don't struggle, you know. And when it comes to everything in this motherfucker, make decisions.
Especially as far as this being the outcome. Like really, the
Yeah,
outcome is you have taken some time to withdraw and like make some choices and think about things.
make the decision. That's why it feels like the theme. Because it's like, again, like, do it. You got to do it in the beginning of the year. Or you got to decide between what you got in your face, or you're going to take this thing the spirit is putting in front of you. The chariot is telling you to work on move on those decisions. Then in February, then in March, you're, what I'm saying, full of possibility. You know what I'm saying, across the board. You're making decisions about what spirits you're talking to, what spirits you're engaging with, what work you're going to do, what abilities you're working with, um, who you're fucking with, this, that, and the third. Then in April, you're the emperor, so you've decided that you're that bitch, and now you're moving through that decision. June is justice. And no, June is the seven of swords, and you've decided, you know what I'm saying, and you've got to be are forced with the decision of
No, June is justice.
oh, did I skip May? May is justice. May is the seven of because the emperor, then the seven of swords. So May, seven of swords. You making the decision um between, you know what I'm saying, being honest and manipulative, and not on some like, ooh, like, am I going to be an honest person, or am I going to be a deceitful person? That's like, okay, in this environment, who I gotta be. In this environment, who I gotta be. And from moment to moment, being like, yeah, making these decisions, realizing that absolutely you're probably capable of great deception. And as that bitch, you probably need to be, right? Um, then June, justice. Everything that you've done has been aligned to justice, and you decided to see that. Then in July, everything that you've come together with, you get to showcase and celebrate. You're deciding to celebrate. That's yeah. Then August, you're continuing that celebration. You're now parading, you know what I'm saying, down the procession. You know what I'm saying? There's a crowd on either side. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got your haters, but you got your absolutely crazy adoring fans. Then September, you're deciding to train. You're going to your ebos, right? These are all very decision based,
I feel that. I feel that.
right? Deciding who to give your charity and shit to in October, and being somewhat generous on that. November, deciding to continue a reciprocal relationship between people, whether it be literal money or you found another way to make that exchange. And then December, you see the loss, some shit happens, things get fucked up, but you are now called to decide to, like, somehow be okay with it, in that, like, shit was inevitable, and maybe you should have seen it coming. And if not seen it coming, you should at least be somewhat prepared for it. They're giving you this year to be prepared for it enough that you, as a boss ass bitch, shouldn't be completely broken and your foundation cracked through because of whatever that loss is. You might lose an addition. and then have to redo that edition later with some other materials. But with everything you've done, not even been through, this is all doings, right? This year that just passed, 2022, if you go to this reading, has been, this is what we're going through. Fuck, the people are going through this. This is going through this. That's going through that. Fuck, we're going through this. This is not going through. These are calls to action, right? So if we've been called to action this much, then yeah, in December we're gonna go through a loss. There's a go through in December, and it's gonna hurt. But with everything we've done and been called to do up until that point, we shouldn't be broken, my nigga. With all the decisions you've made, you shouldn't be so broken that everything is finished. That's what I mean by it's a wrap. I knew it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I mean by it's a wrap. It's like do it or it's a wrap. If you miss a step, if you miscalculate a step, if one of these months don't hit correct, do it or it's a wrap.
All right, and thank you for joining us for our fourth annual yearly tarot forecast for 2023.
Love y'all.
Make sure you check us out on Instagram at McSykes and at JibJack. And check out all our other videos on YouTube and our podcast stream wherever podcasts are available at the aNvKids tree. Bruno being bad. And we might do another mid-year review. We might check on any y'all on June, depending on how things are going. But Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Mashallah. We'll see y'all next time.